Maybe it's time for sex, but you're not turned on, not anxious or stressed, just flat. And it makes no sense. You're into your partner, you're not depressed, so what gives? There's a survival response. It's called freeze. It shuts down arousal, even when everything looks fine on the outside. This video shows you how it works, what the research says, and how, if this is what's happening to you, you might be able to start thawing out and feeling that horny feeling again. If your body is stuck in a freeze state, arousal probably won't happen, no matter how loving or hot your partner is or how safe the moment might seem. When we talk about the stress response, most people know two, fight or flight. But there's actually a third, freeze. It's what can happen when fight or flight don't feel like options to your nervous system. Your system basically shuts down to minimize the threat. You don't fight or run, you go still. And in the context of sex, that freeze response doesn't look dramatic if it's stuck in the system. It just looks like, I'm not turned on, no interest, no sensation, no momentum. Peter Levine, author of Waking the Tiger, says that trauma isn't just what happens to us. It's what happens inside us when we can't respond effectively to a threat. He talks about how animals naturally discharge survival energy after stress. You'll see it sometimes, particularly when dogs give a big shake after a stressful situation. But humans, especially in moments where we feel stuck or trapped, usually don't, so that energy can stay locked in the body. In relationships, this can show up as emotional shutdown. In sex, it can show up as arousal just not being there. I worked with a client one time who had gone from having a super high sex drive to nothing, practically overnight. His interest in sex just disappeared and stayed gone for a couple of years. We started working together, and after a few sessions, his mental interest in sex totally came back. He was up for it again and happy about the progress, but his body still wasn't interested. Physically, he was still just kind of numb. So there was a whole separate set of steps we had to take before his body was 100% up for sex again. You don't break out of that kind of freeze mode with willpower or thinking or pressuring yourself. What helps is a slow, body-first re-entry. One of the best ways I've found to do that is inspired by something called TRE, Tension and Trauma Releasing Exercises. It was created by Dr. David Berceli, and it's designed to safely activate the body's natural tremor reflex, the same one Levine talks about. The tremor usually isn't dramatic, although it can be. Either way, it can be powerful. It's an energy release that tells your system, we're not stuck anymore. And it might help you to start feeling desire again naturally. So I'm going to give you a simple version of this that you can do right now. Just note, I'm not TRE certified or an expert in the process. This is just some basic stuff I've done with clients. And there are a ton of videos from Berceli and other people on YouTube that you can watch that walk you through the approach with a lot more depth. I'll put some links down in the description. Okay, here we go. Just note that some of these steps are pretty long and they'll be something you kind of want to do on your own for a while. So I can't time the video to your experience. So what I'm going to do is just take you through the steps and cue you for where to hit pause at each point. Okay, we're about to start the exercise, but before we dive in, I want to make sure you have another tool designed specifically for those critical moments right before sex. While the work we're doing here is for a long-term solution, sometimes you just need a reboot, an on-the-spot tool to break the cycle of anxiety. So I made the Pressure Release Reset. It's a free 20-minute guided hypnosis session designed to dissolve intense performance pressure so you can get out of your head and back into the moment. If you want to have this ready for the next time you need it, just click in the first link in the description below. I'll send it to you right now, completely free. Okay, let's get back to the exercise. Before we wrap up, just a quick reminder, if you want that hypnosis tool for immediate anxiety relief, the Pressure Release Reset, don't forget to download it for free using the link in the description below. The first step is to put your back against a wall and drop into a squatting position. So your legs are at about a 90-degree angle, almost like you're sitting in an invisible chair, just back against the wall. Then hold that position for 5 minutes or until your quads really start to burn, whichever comes first. The goal here is to get your quads good and tired out. And this would be a spot to hit pause, and then once you pull back off the wall, hit play again. The next step is to lie down on the ground. Put the soles of your feet together, and then lift your butt up off the ground so you go into bridge pose. Hold that for 1 minute with your legs open. Pause here. Then drop your butt back down to the ground and very, very slowly begin to draw your knees together. Really slowly. And if at any point you notice your legs really start to tremble, stop there until the trembling passes. Once it passes, continue that very slow movement in the direction of bringing your knees all the way together. Again, pause here. Once your knees are all the way together, the next thing to do is to very slowly open your legs back up. The key here is to go really slowly, and when you notice you're getting that shaking response, pause there until it passes, and then continue to very slowly open them up. Pause here. Once they're all the way open, reverse the process. Very slowly bring them back up and together. Again, pausing any place where you've got those shakes. Continue that until they're all the way closed, whenever that happens. And pause here while you take that time. Once your legs are all the way up and together, you're finished. That's the end of the exercise. If you're getting some good, strong shaking responses, you may want to practice this for a few days until they clear from your system. Just going through this video, reviewing it again. If you're able to do that, ideally, you'll have been able to clear some of that freeze response from your system, that old freeze energy, and maybe you might be feeling a bit more warmed up in the bedroom. Try it. If you're stuck in a freeze, it's not necessarily because you don't want sex. Again, it might be because your system just doesn't feel ready for it. So if you want more tools for that process, I'll post some links to TRE and Peter Levine down below. They both offer videos, again, with more depth and longer demos. Or if you get the sense that the problem might be more mental, you might want to check out this video. And whatever path you're on, I hope you keep moving toward a really healthy, happy, fun sex life again. Thanks for watching.
Before we wrap up, just a quick reminder. If you want that hypnosis tool for immediate anxiety relief, the Pressure Release Reset, don't forget to download it for free using the link in the description down below.